Hi YouTube, it's been a while. I'm so busy. Probably lazy. Yeah, I was probably lazy, sorry. I've been meaning to update, actually. So I guess I'll talk more about ulcerative colitis. But you know what, I say ulcerative colitis, and I've heard that people say ulcerative colitis. I'm not sure which one it is, or if it's my accent or anything. Because I do tend to say coffee, and lots of people say coffee. Sorry, thought it was kind of silly. So, ulcerative colitis, how would I describe it? Basically, they say it means you have an inflamed intestines. God, I can't talk today. So your intestines are pretty much swollen. So I'd like to describe it as having a swollen colon, and you know those little sores that you get in your mouth when you bite the side of your cheek or your lips or something like that, and then you get that white gross thing that hurts? Well, think about having like 1,000,000 of those lining the inside of your intestines, and your food is trying to pass through, so it kind of gets incredibly painful. Just think about having one of those in your mouth and drinking vinegar. God, that's terrible. But basically, I think that's kind of, I don't know, the way I would describe it. That's not scientific at all. So when you are first diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, the doctor will probably tell you that you'll have to change your diet. And I was on a medical diet that was called the low residue diet, which was in the beginning. And basically, the low residue diet, they'll cut out a lot of things that they think will aggravate your intestines. So they'll tell you no more dairy, because it's one of the triggers for like diarrhea. They'll also tell you I guess don't eat any more red meat because it's hard to digest. And they'll also tell you no more greasy foods, because that's another thing that aggravates your intestines and your stomach, and I think one of the other triggers of diarrhea. And they'll also tell you no more nuts, no more fruits and vegetables, because just think about like a nut or a corn or something. They're kind of pointy, so then you know they're going like this all the way down your intestines trying to get through, and then your stomach's really not gonna like that. The same thing with like fruits and vegetables, because like something like broccoli, it'll brush against the sides of your intestines, or so they say. So you know, that, like, what else can you eat? You know, you can't have dairy, so that no cheese, no ice cream, not a lot of meat. Probably like the leaner meats like chicken and I guess pork, but it has to be, I don't know, broiled or boiled or boring. Yeah, so no fruits and vegetables. So you're going to be eating like a lot of pasta, a lot of rice, broth, soup, boring foods like that. God, no ice cream. I think chocolate might be okay. I don't remember. It's been ages ago since I was on it. Well, with the low residue diet, just see how it works out for you, because I'm not a doctor or anything, but like in my personal experience, it didn't work out for me. I felt horrible all the time. I had stomach aches all day. It was hard to sleep. Even the more embarrassing stuff like gas, and I don't want to be someone who has gas, and I don't want to have to go to the bathroom. And we're not talking about number 1 here. We're talking about number 2. When you have number 2, or when I had number 2, and I was on this low residue diet thing, in one way I can describe it, it smelled like death, and ew, I didn't want that anymore. So one night I was researching on the internet, and I was looking for other things that I could eat, because I'm already limited in what I could eat, and I'm like, you know, what can I do? I feel like crap. So I came across something that's called the specific carbohydrate diet, and it's also called SCD for short. And there's a lot of resources for this. I actually went against my doctor on this because it totally contradicts the low residue diet. And a lot of people will tell you to pick up this book. It's called Breaking the Vicious Cycle, and it's by Elaine Gottschall. And this came up because they wanted to do a lot of natural cures, and Elaine Gottschall, she actually had a daughter who was stricken with either celiac or ulcerative colitis or Crohn's. I don't remember which one. And she wanted to find an alternative way to help her daughter because she was dying. And she actually had improved a lot through diet and with another doctor that they were working with. And it was one of those success stories. So I highly recommend you picking up this book. Again, it looks like this. It's a really good read, and the best thing about it is that there's recipes in the back. And a lot of them are you know, kind of okay, but there are actually some that are good, especially if you're looking for something sweet, desserts. I like the cheesecake. I also like the peanut butter cake, which is pretty good. And then they have a lot of like soups, and they'll teach you how to make your own yogurt and stuff, and a lot of good stuff in there. And I'll tell you this, it's really hard to do. It's incredibly hard, but you have to be strict. You absolutely have to be strict if you want to get better. But that's only if you choose to decide it. If the low residue diet is working for you and, you know, you're okay with your doctor, then that's fine. But it wasn't working out for me. I went against my doctor, but luckily I've been okay. Another recommended reading I would suggest is this book. It's called Colitis Me. It's by this guy, Raman Prasad. And this is a very unique book because it's not like science-y like all the other books that you're going to read. It's about the personal experience of the guy Raman living through colitis and being diagnosed and misdiagnosed. And I don't know, it was just really relatable about all the stuff that he brought up. And I've actually read the book 4 times. There's a reason for that, because sometimes, you know, I'm feeling down or I'm cheating on my diet, and it's a real reality check, you know, reading the book. So that's why I read it so many times. And it goes by quick. Like, look how thin it is. Like, if you don't like reading, this isn't a big deal. But you should like reading because it's fun. But anyway, the books are kind of hard to find. I had trouble tracking it down at the bookstore and the library, but I mean, it'll be great if you can. So I actually got them off Amazon, and I do remember them being a little bit pricey because at the time I wasn't working. So I was like, oh god, how am I going to get these books? I really need them. But it is totally worth it. I think the books might cost around $25, maybe even pushing $30, but it's definitely worth it if you're looking for something else and you haven't been getting better. So definitely give that a shot. God, I talk so fast. I guess, I don't know what else. I've been feeling good, you know, keeping healthy. I want to try working out more. I do find out that if I'm working out, I don't get sick as easily. So, I don't know, I guess that's it for now. Next time I'll try to have my updates a little bit, not so far in between. So, you'll see more of me, and bye!